Thank you very much for everybody that spoke before me. Um, Very powerful. Um, and I would say that for me, who came as a refugee myself, and I'm doing the refugee resettlement work, it validates what I do every day. It's not easy work, but when I hear people like um, Sergeant Holmes, who served our country, and vouching for the Afghan refugees, it gives me morale, courage to continue fighting for these refugees that we serve. Um, I was just thinking about what to talk about today, and two questions came in my mind. One was, do we have a moral responsibility to help Afghan refugees? And I think people that spoke previously have really answered that question. And my answer before I heard what they had to say, both Navid and Sergeant Holmes, my answer was yes. But that answer was based on a family that I've been trying to help reunite with the husband who is here in Twin Falls. This husband has been in our country for the past 5 years, tried everything for the whole 5 years to try to get his family back with him, his wife, and three kids. And the last minute, when they were almost there, they had interviewed with the US Embassy, and they had done all the medical screenings, all the security screenings done, and they turned in their passports so they can put in their visas to travel here to Twin Falls. And all of a sudden, the craziness happened in Kabul. There were no way they could come. Their passports are with the US Embassy. They spend many days outside the airport trying to get on a plane, and they wouldn't. And they saw the US military leaving Afghanistan, leaving them there. And now they are hiding in their home in Kabul, fearing for their lives. Definitely, that question of saying, do we have a moral responsibility to help Afghan refugees? Yes, but also for each of you who is here, who does not have any connection with a refugee family, to base your answer to a particular story. But think about, you were born in this country. Think about, if you are an immigrant, you came to this country somehow, you didn't give God anything to give you that opportunity to come to this country, enjoy what we enjoy here, the peace, the security, the freedom, and so on. Based on that, those are other human beings like us. They didn't choose to be in that situation. So, and I'm sure, and I'm hoping that each of you would say to this question, yes, we have full and moral responsibility to help Afghan refugees and other refugees that are out there now. And also be grateful for that you're enjoying the beauty of this country. You didn't pay any price to enjoy this beauty, everything we enjoy here in America. And in order for you to feel that in order for you to be grateful, you should feel this moral responsibility that you have and do something about it. There's many ways you can do something about it. The easiest way, it would be just to contact one of our resettlement agencies. If you live in Boise or in Twin Falls, find the resettlement agencies and get involved. There's many ways we can use you to support this work that we do. Again, Without the community support, I always say this work is very complex. We cannot do it alone. And we just need everybody to help us. And I don't see even this type of situations like Afghanistan to end very soon. I mean, the only way that refugee issues would end in the U.S. or around the world is if we have peace on the planet. Now, is that even close to be achieved? I don't know. I think not. So the only thing that we can do as community members is is to try to get involved and help the ones that they are here close in your backyard. I mean, how can you exercise this? How can you get the opportunity for you to accomplish that moral obligation that you have? You don't have to go overseas to help. There is refugees in your backyard that you can help. Now, the second question that came to my mind was, how can we help? I'm going to point a few things of how we can help, and we probably will discuss this further in questions when they come. But one of the best thing to get involved is to be a part of a refugee success story. Every refugee has where they started life when they came to America. And if you follow every refugee, you would find that they have their success stories in their own ways. And all I'm asking is be a part of that success story. How can you be a part of that success story? It's only if you're a part of the refugee resettlement work that are rebuilding lives. I mean, um, when you follow things that happen to refugees before they get here. I lived those things. They're very horrible, and only us as one community. I like the way the communities these days have now come together and trying to show their support. And I'll talk about that support that we are getting around southern Idaho. But it's giving me hope to continue fighting hard and making differences in people's lives. So get involved with your local refugee resettlement. The second thing is, as citizens of this richest country on the planet, and given that the U.S. view itself as a promoter of freedom, democracy, human rights, the most generous country on the planet, and the most humanitarian country on the planet. Given all of that, it's really something that me personally, who became a U.S. citizen after, since I was born, I didn't have a citizenship of any country. I'm proud of that, and I want to be a part of it. That we should be considered as the greatest country on this planet, which we are. And let's not let that slip. Let's call our federal representation, our state representation, I mean, our leaders, the state level, federal level, and let's ask them to continue supporting refugee resettlement in Idaho. We've been very successful since, as Julian mentioned, since 1975 until now, and a failure if people on this call or people that are listening to us in the communities, or people that will go on this website and download this and start listening, if they don't do anything about it. Well, we need your support, and the support that I'm asking today is call leaders at all levels, community leaders, church leaders, Muslim leaders, local government, state government, and federal government, and call them to provide every tool that we need in order for us to help these refugees succeed in this country. Um, And the third thing that I want to mention is, which is very powerful for a refugee. Many of us, even people in Afghanistan, for the past 20 years, they felt not welcomed. They lived in their lives of fear every day. They're counting days every day for the past 20 years in the case of Afghanistan. In other countries such as the Congo is the last 30 years that people have lived with fear. And when they come to America, they have hope that the fear would end the moment they step their feet in America. And then the only thing that you can give is welcoming them, show them love. That's all. They will do the rest. Believe me, they will do the rest. But they cannot succeed if that fear continues with them. They cannot succeed if they don't feel welcomed in the communities they live in. Um, and also, the worst thing that you can do for a refugee, and that's what you should avoid, is not to welcome them. When you see them, do your best and welcome them, and they will do the rest to succeed in this country. Me and my family came in this country. My dad, my mother, four sisters, four brothers. We were city settled in Salt Lake City. That's where many of us, my mom still lives there, and some of my siblings too. But we fled the Democratic Republic of Congo after months of the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. Imagine that. I was a young boy at that time, and just imagine surviving mass killings, and then you find exile in a country a few months after close to 1 million people died in 90 days. Imagine what type of life that would be. The country itself didn't even have any means to support its own people. And now we were there trying to survive. And I would say that I'm very grateful that America rescued me from that life, horrible life. I mean, there's many things that I cannot even repeat that I've witnessed. Now, every time you're involved in helping refugees, think about us. Think about Naveed. Think about what we are saying today, because I do believe that when you help someone who is hopeless, you get blessings one way or another from the Almighty. And if you want blessings, if you want to bless this country, please make sure that this country continues to support the refugee resettlement.
Thank you so much, Zeze. I want to make sure we have time to get to questions here before we wrap up.
Okay. Right. Just one few things that I wanted to mention. I'm just happy that during this time we are getting so many phone calls from supporters of Afghan refugees, and I wanted just to list a few quotes from those messages that we received. One was, "We cannot abandon our allies." I mean, this is powerful, and I think we've learned that today. And then they said also, they risked their lives to protect the U.S. interest in the most dangerous country in the world. I would love to employ a refugee from Afghanistan. When are they coming? I am organizing a support group to fundraise on behalf of Afghan refugees. Accepting Afghan refugees is to protect the most precious right of all, the right to live. I would like to start refugee resettlement of Afghans in Idaho Falls. I mean, these are messages of love, of hope, and I hope it continues this way. Thank you very much.